2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love doing math. I love doing math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love doing math. I love doing math. Hey, math is so easy to me. It's so easy. Count it up like.
Hey everybody, Miss Manini coming to you from my kitchen counter. Today we're going to be talking about finding the area of triangles. For the past couple of days we've been focusing on quadrilaterals, shapes that have 4 sides. Today we're going to talk about triangles, shapes that have 3 sides. Triangles can look many different ways, but regardless of how they look, we always use the same area formula for all triangles. A equals 1/2 base times height. Please note how advanced my video editing skills are getting. Yeah, thank you. So that formula might look really similar to a formula that you already know. The formula for the area of a parallelogram or a rectangle. A equals base times height. Again, please note the video editing skills. Let's take a look at why these two formulas are so similar. So here I have a paper cut out of a triangle, and I have an identical copy of it. Okay, see, they're the exact same size. And if I rearrange these triangles, I form a shape that we are familiar with, a rectangle. Okay, if I wanted to find the area of this entire rectangle, I would use the formula A equals base times height. However, I only want to find the area of half of it. I only want to find the area of this triangle, which is half the area of the entire rectangle. Because of that, I would use the formula area equals 1/2 base times height, because it would be 1/2 the area of the rectangle. Let's take a look at a different type of triangle. See, they're different shapes, both triangles, but they look different, okay? And again, I have a paper cutout that is identical to this pink triangle, okay? And this time I'm gonna actually cut this green triangle. Okay, so all I did was cut this triangle into 2 pieces. And when I rearrange these pieces, you can see that again, I would form a rectangle, okay? If I wanted to find the area of the entire rectangle, we know I would use the formula A equals base times height. If I wanted to find the area of half the rectangle, which could be represented by this pink triangle, I would use the formula area equals 1/2 base times height. Now, take out a piece of paper, take out a pencil, take out a calculator if you need it, and do this next example problem with Miss Rogers.
Hey guys, it's Miss Rogers. Today we're going to talk about the area of a triangle. Of course, I'm excited because this means I get to use my new markers again. So first, I already wrote down the formula area equals 1/2 base times height. So let's go ahead and find our base and height. So here in orange, I underlined the base. So I see that our base is 15. Now in red, I'm going to find our height. And I'm going to see that our height is 10. So now that I have this, all I have to do is plug in my numbers into our formula. So area equals 1/2. Our base is 15. And our height, which is 10. The next step is just multiply across. So if I was to multiply 1/2 times 15 times 10, I'd get 75. So the area of our triangle is 75 centimeters squared.
All right, it is time for some split screen action, my new favorite thing to do. I'm going to do the problem on my iPad. You can see what I'm doing over here. You do the problem on your paper with me. So we're going to look at 2 more examples of triangle problems so that you can get familiar, seeing what different types of triangles look like. So let's get going. My first problem I'm going to call number 1, and we know that our formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. For this first problem, my height is actually the side of my triangle here. Remember, the height is the distance from the bottom of the triangle to the top of the triangle. So in this case, it's one of the sides of my triangle. It's 20, and my base is 24 feet. I can plug this information into my formula. A equals 1/2 times my base, which is 24, times my height, which is 20. Now, when I wrote this problem, I used the multiplication symbol, the X. When Miss Rogers was solving her problem, she used parentheses. Either way is fine. Both are different ways to represent multiplication. If I'm using a calculator to support myself, I might want to convert my fraction to a decimal. I know that 1 over 2 as a fraction is equivalent to 5/10. So I'm going to take 5/10 and multiply it by my base of 24 and my height of 20, and that will give me a final answer of 240 feet squared as my area of this first triangle. Let's take a look at number 2. Please notice that this triangle looks very different than the triangle in number 1. In this case, 17 inches is our height, and it's signified by this dotted line right here, okay? But again, the height is the distance from the bottom of the triangle to the top of the triangle. My base is 12 inches. Since it's a triangle, I'm going to use my same formula, A equals 1/2 base times height, and I can plug in my numbers. A equals 1/2 times my base of 12 times my height of 17. I'm going to rewrite this using 5/10 instead of the fraction form of 1/2 times 12 times 17, and that gives me my final answer that the area of this triangle is 102 inches squared. All right, that is the end of the examples that we are going to do together, but you have plenty more practice posted in today's assignment on Google Classroom. If you have questions, email me, email your teacher. Get to work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love doing math. I love doing math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love